tell you what, being a realtor, I got a message the other day from realtors to buy realtors commissions. So I called the guy up and said, I've got this contract, what's your deal? And they get 10%, in like 30 days, at a 10% discount, but there's more tricks to it than that. They don't pay all the money out, they have a withholding. But 10% in 30 days, that's times 12, right? So realtors sell their commission. I asked the guy, he started telling me they have outlets in 16 states that they have 40 some, and they send to the board of realtors. He said 90% of our business is repeat business. Every time a realtor gets commission, they'll sell it today instead of waiting 45 days or 30 or 40, maybe 60 days for the full payout. What's going on now? Well, does H&R Block pay your tax return early? And is this I buy tax returns? They make 1,000%, and you can do that too. Now you have to. I tried to do it and get the assignment of the payment. Turns out you have to be a CPA and have that, or accountant. I have a number, but I figured out a different way to do it. Or you could maybe have a friendly CPA take assignment of that payment for you. But it's money in the bank, isn't it? That tax return, it's money in the bank. So has anybody given me trouble about making 50% on your? Have you heard anything that's illegal or immoral yet, or whatever? Well, we're getting to that. Okay. Buying notes and buying partials of a note, just buying 60 payments, right? Or buying installment sales and stuff like the notes of business, a good business. You can buy a book, take a course. Jack Fullerton teaches a course about math, calculator math. Leases, just sandwich lease a place. You can lease somebody's house, empty house, or a condo that's, say it's 1,000 rental. You could make a lease for $750 or something like that, or $800, and get a spread. Well, you put the month down payment down from your IRA, and you'll have maybe 3 years of a couple hundred a month spread. And that money, when you get your money into the corner bank with your IRA money, all mortgage payments you get, all rent payments, all the money goes to your corner bank. It never goes back to the custodian. I've taken my money out of the custodian, it's all in a corner bank. Every time I get a payoff on a closing, on an option, every time I get a rent payment, a mortgage payment, it goes in the corner bank. Pretty soon I have another $5,000 or $10,000 in there from the payments I've received that can go out on the street again and make more money. So that pot, as it gets bigger, then you send it out again. So you're in charge, and so leases, wrapping leases. Now these, I know guys, Walter, different people are actively doing this, and they think up new things to do, and you could probably invent some things too. And I'll put it in my book, or I'll make you famous. I'll put you on the web. Pete Fortunato has a thing where you buy somebody's car or house for half the price and give you an option to buy it back for half the price. Then want to get anybody, just don't need appraisals. You don't have to go out and kick the tires, have the roof inspected. If you've got a X thousand dollar, I'll pay you X for it, but I'll give you the right for a couple years to buy it back for the same price. We're not trying to get you out of your house. It's trying to, instead of making you a loan, as Jack Miller said, he doesn't loan money, he buys things. And he buys things, and that's why we'll buy the beneficial interest of that deal we're working on. Give me X%. So I've got something, but you can buy it back for what I paid for it. There's a couple more things that people do. First-time home buyer credit. I bought that. I bought tax returns. I bought the home buyer credit. Are there car notes around in the market, in the street, that some people know how to deal with? I've done that. Probably lost about as much money doing that as some of my other bad deals. But mobile home paper. How about your tradesmen? You have AC guys, roofer guys that you deal with? You deal with some contractors to do your stuff? Do you think they have any receivables that they didn't all get paid on? Do you think you might get a $4,000 receivable for $3,000? And they have lien rights typically on the property. So a way to secure you. I was talking to a friend in Colorado who was is an attorney, but he doesn't practice law, but he has a lot of attorney friends. He said his attorney friends, have tons of receivables, big time stuff, and they don't want to hassle their clients. So he arranges to buy the lien, buy the debt from the attorney on terms. He said, if I can collect it, the $10,000, I'll give you $7,500. The guy said, have at it. So he doesn't really have to have any invested in that at the moment until he collects on it. And so the fact that a lot of people, and about loaning money to your tradesman. This guy asked his AC guy, how much do you pay for an AC unit? He says, $4,000. He said, what would I get if I bought 10 of them? He said, well, you can get them for $3,000. So he buys 10 of them, leaves them in the warehouse, then his contractor goes and picks them up one at a time and gets paid each time he goes and picks up a unit. So think about creatively the people you deal with. They're happy. There's nobody trying to take advantage of anybody. Most people realtors would sell me their commission for 25% off. She wasn't distressed, or I knew her for a thing. I wasn't trying. I said, will you take this? She said, yeah, I'll take that today. And sign now. If it doesn't close for whatever, I asked this guy, they just get the realtor's next sale deal that eventually something will close. So there's ways to protect yourself on that. So there's tax liens, home improvement paper, tradesmen, and all those things. There's 15 things. Is anything in there that sounded illegal or dangerous or whatever? So anyway, that's the world of trusts, and this IRA trust I think you could make the most money on in your lifetime. And I say if you're lazy, 50% would be okay. And if you're active, guys are making 200% and 300% by getting after buying notes, buying discounted notes. So I would like, like I'm in the 1031 exchange business, and we do lots of exchanges for 25 years, thousands of them. And we did a couple of months ago for 100 exchanges in one day, simultaneous for an oil field. They had 100 investors in, and somebody wanted to buy the oil field. So the company moved them to another oil field the same day, simultaneous exchange. So we did over 100 in one day. And a guy said, can you do this? I said, sure, I can do that. So, but my wife signs the papers, so she had carpal tunnel syndrome after signing the papers, but it was no chore for me. I found it very easy to do. So, but the exchange business, but our average exchange client saves about $50,000 in taxes. So that makes me happy. We have a fee and we make a few $100, but I find it enjoyable to be around people that are prospering, making money with their investments, and then we share all the people I know here for many years, Steve and Jack and Ray and all these people, Richard. We share with people, help each other out, and I have that on the website. I will share the 30-some years of information and knowledge that I've had, minus the mistakes. I mean, they're corrected for errors on my part. And so you don't have to make those same way. So if you go on there, sign up on the blog, ask questions on all these topics. And if I don't know anything about the topics like probate and stuff like that, I'll let you know. There's a lot of areas of real estate I don't study, I don't pay attention. I don't think you can master them all. In fact, you probably have seen people that would go from one field to the other, and they try probate and they mess around, and that didn't work. They try something else. They never settled down to a couple of things. There's enough okay deals that changing your MO every couple months because something else looked better doesn't seem to work for me. So let's talk about trust a little bit and wrap up with your questions. I'll tell you everything I know. Yeah. That's good. The question is, can you use an individual and or a corporation? The answer is, it's your choice. You can use an entity, which means an LLC, a C corporation, an S corporation, a person. So whatever, and I use all three. Okay, and sometimes depends on the situation. Whatever works for you. I think it's nice to have an individual that you can count on. But if you have somebody, now if you're the beneficiary, it's suggested strongly that you not have a one-person C corporation who's your trustee and you're the beneficiary. You can have a merger and stuff like that. You should have it. Now, if you have a two-person LLC or somebody owns other than the majority of the stock, then that's not you anymore. Okay, so that's a good question. Thank you. So trusts, any kind of trust, yes, sir. Any trustee, J.H. Fullerton. Now that, as you know, we know, but the world doesn't know whether that's a lady or Joan or Jill or yes. And we use corporations, and we use it on person and this IRA trust. You need a trustee. And I'd like to remind you that in any of those trusts, what can the trustee do with those properties? They can sell them and take the money. So we have learned some ways to protect yourself that we teach you in the course of how to prevent a rogue trustee from, as Jack Miller had, a guy sold 18 of his properties and kept the money to Fort Lauderdale, and he spent 7 years in court and he got a judgment, never collected a dollar. So you need to trust your trustee. And my attorney, Mark Waters, is a trustee for thousands of people and other people. He's not going anywhere, in my mind. And but your sister-in-law, the guy told me, he said, I have my wife as the trustee. I said, sounds like a good plan. So she's not my wife anymore. Well, it sounds like a bad plan.